don't have one of those. I don't seem to have. I hid it from myself and Mr. Gonzalez. You ordered to stay away from 2150. These
Judge, he's not, I apologize for interrupting. He's no longer there. Corrections took him away.
okay.
Utilize my right to be heard, and I'm representing myself, Your Honor. I just got back from the last courtroom where I was RR'd. Are you ready to hear what I have to say, Your Honor?
I am.
All right, cool. So I would like to inform you, Your Honor, that there is 2 open lawsuits. One against this court system for wrongfully finding probable cause on police misconduct and violating my 6th and 14th Amendment and due process, which led to false imprisonment. Against the Miami Beach Police Department for multiple false arrests where they have violated my constitutional rights and multiple United States laws. This situation is very serious, Your Honor, because I now have to file another lawsuit for attempted murder and attempted vehicle manslaughter. I say vehicle manslaughter because these 2 police officers that followed and stopped me November 6th is the same 2 police officers that watched me park my bike on 10th and Ocean, pace back and forth next to my bike on 10th and Ocean, and then hit me off my bike while they ran onto the sidewalk, also hitting 2 other pedestrians to pull me over. Like the A foreman said, they tried to that I tried to evade them. Tried to pull me over because if I tried to run away, why did I park my bike? And you see me park my bike on 10th Street. So look, let me continue. There's another one that I have to file for attempted murder because when they said put your hands behind your back, they prevented my hands from going behind my back while covering my face and mouth. That is attempted murder. So now let me start. November 6th, right? And I've had this bike since February. November 6th, these officers witnessed me talking to 3 girls or whatever. They followed me for 3 blocks and then took the same right turn that I took. And then I made a U-turn onto the sidewalk and then they stopped following me. Then they approached me when I was talking to my friend on a bike lane on Ocean Drive between 11th and 10th Street. That is when they wrote the ticket. And they said, if I don't walk my bike home, my electrical bicycle, then I'll be arrested. So I walked my bike home and then went back to the same officer, Officer Rivera, after I did my research. And I told him that because my bicycle has pedals, it is considered an electrical bicycle. So if you try to arrest me for riding my electrical bicycle, I will file another lawsuit against you. And then I rode my bicycle November 6th. And no one said anything. I rode my bicycle November 7th. No one said anything. I've had this bike since February 8th. I've got pulled over for running a red light. I even called the sergeant. The regular officer and the sergeant never said my bike was not street legal. This was March. This was a lie where I got pulled over again. I requested the sergeant, the regular sergeant, and the regular officer and the sergeant never said that my bike was not street legal at all. So what I'm saying is, to you, you have a judicial code of conduct. You have to follow the law at all times. It's your duty to follow the law. And based on the 14th Amendment, I have the right to be treated equally. So if they're not arresting DoorDash drivers, Uber Eats drivers for riding their electrical bicycle, you cannot keep me in jail for riding my electrical bicycle. This is what I explained to the judge previously, and I got RR'd. And the public defender had did their research. They found out that with pedals, it's still considered an electrical bicycle. And I even informed this officer, and he even seen me riding southbound. He made eye contact with me November 8th on Saturday. He made eye contact with me while I was driving southbound on Ocean Drive. If I was riding something illegal, right? If I didn't go back up to him and tell him that if he tries to arrest me for riding my electrical bicycle, he will be sued. Why didn't he just pull me over? If what he said that happened on 9th Street, why didn't he pull me over? Why didn't he hop on his golf cart and pull me over? He did no such thing because that is a lie. He lied on the A form, and I'm proving it to you because I parked my bike down this 1 block away.
All right, everyone, buckle up, because today's courtroom spectacle is a masterclass in confidence without competence. What you're about to witness is not just a defendant representing himself, it's a defendant who believes volume, repetition, and buzzwords can substitute for law. This case comes straight out of Florida, and it features a man who thinks his electric bike is the key to unraveling the entire criminal justice system * from alleged police misconduct to claims of attempted murder, vehicle manslaughter, constitutional violations, and secret conspiracies, all tied together with duct tape logic. This defendant throws everything at the wall to see what sticks. But here's the twist: while he's laser-focused on pedals, tickets, and imaginary lawsuits, the court is dealing with serious criminal charges that don't care about his narrative. Watch closely how the judge maintains control, how contradictions start piling up, and how legal buzzwords get completely dismantled in real time.
The charges has to be dismissed. From riding with a suspended license, I don't need a license to ride my electrical bicycle. Vehicle registration, I do not have to register my electrical bicycle. And driving with a license suspended, I don't need to have a valid driver's license to ride my electrical bicycle. And this all
Judge, on his traffic case, he received RR.
Well, good. Anyway,
yes. So what I'd like to say is that also Burger King is across the street from the police department. So no police officer can say that they don't see other electrical bicycles and other dirt bikes riding on the beach. So it's no excuse, not even just pouring it out, that they lied on an A form. And it's all my workers. I even have a video. There was electrical bicycles passing by November 6th as they was writing me a ticket for my electrical bicycle, which was a blatant violation of my 14th Amendment. So they continued to write a ticket for my electrical bicycle as someone pulled over and said, "What's going on?" A restaurant worker that usually parks their electrical bicycle right there on Ocean Drive. You cannot be a police officer and say you don't see electrical dirt bikes riding on the Drive and electrical bicycles riding on Ocean Drive, because there's 15-year-olds with electrical dirt bikes since last year that has been riding up and down Ocean Drive, and no one has said anything to them. So it would be a blatant violation to arrest me or harass me for riding my bike. So I would like to be all involved with this as well, because I'm not sure why it was divided into two judges at all. And the public defender already looked at the law. If you want to look at the law, based on the fact that my bike has pedals, is considered an electrical bicycle.
all right then. So it sounds to me like you've already raised a misdemeanor, Judge, about your pedals and your electrical bicycle. I myself am dealing with 4 counts of battery on a law enforcement officer, 1 count of resisting an officer without offering to do violence, 1 count of felony marijuana possession, and 1 misdemeanor arresting. So those are the cases I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Not that whether or not your bike has pedals on it.
I'd like to include, Your Honor, that my older brother passed away because someone hit him off his motorcycle, 2016. I would never run away from the police.
Uh-huh.
And the fact that they waited till I hopped on my bike to try to hit me, to try to build a false narrative like I was evading them, is completely illegal. They waited till I hopped.
This is where the wheels come off, literally and legally. The defendant just accused police officers of vehicle manslaughter and attempted murder, while actively speaking, standing, and very much alive. Manslaughter, by definition, requires a death. There's no wiggle room there. You don't get to redefine crimes because you're upset. What's happening here is a common courtroom tactic used by self-represented defendants: exaggerate the accusation to increase perceived severity. The hope is that if the claim sounds serious enough, the judge will be intimidated into backing down. But courts don't operate on emotion, they operate on statutory definitions. Also notice how the story already starts shifting. First he says officers hit him off his bike. Later, the bike is parked a block away. These inconsistencies matter. Judges are trained to catch them instantly. Credibility is currency in court, and right now, he's
Quite chatty for a dead person. So I really can't find that you're dead.
Why did they attempt to murder me? They covered.
Well, that's a horse of a different color. So what I have to deal with was what's written on the arrest affidavit, not your constitutional arguments, which may very well be filed in a different court on a different day. I have to deal with the 4 corners of the document there.
Yes, based on the 4 corners of it.
Based on the 4 corners of the document, I'm going to find probable cause on counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let me ask corrections. Was the resisting without violence dealt with in misdemeanor court or not? Well,
I would like to speak. Your Honor, if
Stop.
he,
I'm trying to get an answer from corrections as to whether or not the resisting without violence was managed misdemeanor court or not.
Your Honor, if I have to pay any type of bond, then I will file another lawsuit against this court system.
Well, all righty then. Please feel free to do so. Probable cause is found on counts 1, 2, 3,
And the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine,
and
that rooted from illegal activity, it cannot be used against me in a court of law.
well, that yes, it's
Understand that
the constitutional background for a motion to
law.
suppress evidence that was seized. I read that case once. So counts 1 through 4, the bond is $2,000. Count 5, the bond is just $1,000. Count 6, the bond is just $1,000. Count 7 is an ROR.
Judge Victoria Singular,
I am Judge Victoria Sigler.
not RR.
All right.
I will file a tort.
Please feel free to file whatever things you think.
Accusation by accusation. When the initial claim doesn't land, the rhetoric ramps up. Being restrained during an arrest suddenly becomes attempted murder. But restraint, especially during a lawful arrest, is not only allowed, it's expected when a suspect is non-compliant. The key issue here is intent. Attempted murder requires intent to kill. Not discomfort. Not fear. Not rough handling. And certainly not hindsight storytelling. The defendant never establishes intent, because this is also where emotional reasoning replaces legal reasoning. He feels violated, so he assigns the most extreme criminal label possible. Judges hear this constantly, and it almost never helps the speaker. In fact, it often hurts them, because it signals a lack of understanding of both the law and their own situation.
I did review the report that was completed and filed by DSHS. And does the city want to be heard at all?
City would ask the court to adopt DSHS's recommendations or findings.
Does defense want to be heard at all?
Yes.
Your Honor, we also ask the court to enter this finding, and we also ask the court to withdraw the assigned attorney due to breakdown of attorney-client relationship.
Yeah. And I would like to be heard on the record as well.
The court does adopt the report that was filed by
does the report say?
DSHS finding competency in this case.
Is it uncomfortable? Okay, cool. Sweet.
That was by Western, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll check that box.
So now can I go through a full phoretic colloquy so that then I represent myself and you are no longer okay.
We're not going to do that today, though.
Well, I'd like to do that because I'd like to, not have the public defenders involved anymore in obstructing, my rights. And then two, I need.
Seems certain to the court that you need legal representation, so I'm not going to do that motion today.
No, I don't, because
well,
can you answer this for me? I did a motion to revise the original anti-harassment protection order, and 4 or 5 different judges recused themselves on that. Are you aware of that motion to revise?
That's not before the court here today.
No, but it's really relevant, right? Because there's no probable cause to arrest me and hold me for this charge.
Found Mr. Spidell, so.
Then and it hasn't been presented to me. I haven't seen any probable cause affidavit or anything like that. And if you read the motion to revise the original anti-harassment protection order, you'd see that there was no evidence in that hearing of harassment. All I did was try to let the prosecutor's office know of Brady Giglio material committed by Crystal Chapel, right? Can you let me speak, please?
You're being recorded.
Yes, I want this to be recorded.
You're being recorded and you're making admissions that might be against your personal interest in this case.
No, that's not true because I'm 100. I want the truth to be known. I have nothing to hide. Okay, so you guys are obstructing though. You guys are doing the obstruction here. Okay, so I want this to be heard on the record. That I've just reached out to the prosecutor's office to let them know about Brady Giglio material committed by Crystal Chapel, and I was concerned that maybe she would be involved in high-profile cases like the
6th Amendment, 14th Amendment, due process, equal protection. All real concepts, but none applied correctly here. Simply saying constitutional rights doesn't automatically mean they were violated. Equal protection does not mean police must ignore everyone equally. It means enforcement cannot be based on prohibited discrimination. The defendant never demonstrates selective enforcement, only that others may have committed similar acts without being stopped. Courts require evidence, not comparisons. And notice how the argument keeps drifting away from the actual charges and toward perceived unfairness. That's a psychological pivot, because arguing feelings is easier than arguing facts.
Probable cause is already determined, sir, so you are not sitting.
It's not a smiling matter. No, then tell me what the probable cause was.
Heard in this case.
City would ask to set for trial, Your Honor.
We're setting the matter for trial.
Okay. Then, ma'am, I think that you're outstepping your bounds and you're obstructing justice here. Because if you read that motion to revise the protection order, why have 4 different judges recuse themselves? Why did the gentleman just before you just recuse himself? You know, everybody's playing hot potato with accountability, but you're the only one who seems that.
And I'm not recusing.
You want to break the law.
Here I am.
Right, but you're not hearing me.
Oh, I am hearing you, sir. And what you're saying doesn't fit with the facts of the case. There was probably.
Then what are the facts?
And we're moving forward with trial. You'll get your trial on the merits, sir.
Okay, but I know that you guys are just going to dismiss it before trial happens because you don't want a jury to hear about all your misconduct.
Well, I don't mind the jury hearing what you perceive as misconduct. If it's
okay. All right, then I'm looking forward to that.
If you let us have a moment, we'll set your trial date.
From my calculations, Mr. Speedle has been in. We have Speedy running from November 5th to December 8th when the order was entered for competency, and so after the competency was on today, we're running from. So it was 33 days.
Yes. The most misquoted doctrine on YouTube law channels, fruit of the poisonous tree. This doctrine applies only when evidence is directly obtained through illegal means, and even then, it has exceptions. It does not erase charges. It does not invalidate arrests by default. And it certainly doesn't fix contradictory testimony. Even worse, his own timeline undermines the argument, because you can't suppress evidence when you can't even keep the facts straight. Judges immediately clock this as internet law regurgitation.